Listen, I've had my fair share of crushes in my life, okay? And I swear, because the internet is so big nowadays, I feel like they made crushes seem like this undesirable waste of space thing in your mind. It is not, okay? I'm gonna explain to you guys something so simple that will make you rethink your crush, okay? There's this big saying going around that, like, do you actually like them, or is it a crush with a lack of information? Now, yes, that is true. You could have a ton of information missing when it comes to having feelings for someone or not knowing enough about someone. And yeah, having a crush is, I guess, the baseline. If you are into someone, I feel like that's more than a crush. But the things to think about when you have this crush: do you actually like them? Like, do you actually find them interesting? Like, why do you have a crush on a person? Is it because they're physically attractive? Or do they do something interesting? Like, I don't know, go to the gym, they work out, they look good, they feel good, they're confident. Like, what is it that makes you like them? And that's why the statement, do I actually have a crush or is it a lack of information, is so common. And yes, okay, that is true in some cases. But you have a crush on someone and you're really into them, I feel like you're gonna know. Like, I know it's really cliche to say, like, oh, when did you know that you liked X person? Or like, when did you know you guys were going to be boyfriend and girlfriend? And it's like, you just know. And I feel like that's kind of true. And I've lived around 20 something years of my life and I've had multiple crushes. And every time I look back on the crushes that I had with certain people, I kind of think about it like, man, I really did have a lack of information. No matter which way you look at it, I just didn't know enough about them, and I didn't know how they would react. So, if you like someone and you have a crush on them, that's a good thing. Do not listen to the internet when they say having a crush is the worst thing you could do in like your 18s or sorry, your like late, teenager years or your early adulthood. Do not listen to people that say it's bad for you. Yes, working on yourself and having some sort of self-improvement is very important because you want to continue to grow and be better and not be so codependent on a significant other or a crush and become obsessed with them. You want to be able to, be yourself. And I think having a crush is one of the coolest things in life because, to me, in my opinion, if you like someone or you have feelings for someone, I feel like that makes life so interesting. Like, it just spices up your life. Like, ooh, are they gonna, hit me up today? Or like, are we gonna do something? Are we gonna hang out soon? Like, is my friend gonna bring that friend I have a crush on? Things like that. Or am I gonna see him at the gym today? Stuff like that makes life so fun and interesting. So, do not be afraid to have a crush, but be afraid if it is a lack of information. Because you could find out so much about people. Like, I was on TikTok last night and I saw a video of this girl being like, when I finally got to see him and go to his house and I knew exactly where his room was because I looked him up or his house on Zillow, which is crazy. Okay. That's not the type of information we want. Yes, I respect it. You're doing your research. You're trying to make sure he is what he says he is. And it's okay, but I think looking up his house layout in Zillow is a bit much. But that's not the type of information I'm talking about, okay? The information you want to know is, why am I interested in them? Am I interested in them because I think they're attractive, or is it something deeper? And I feel like if you really like someone and you want to be in a dedicated relationship with someone, I think you're going to want to think about certain things like, can I actually see a future with them? I know my audience is like 18 to 24 mostly, and I feel like people around my age are not super long-term. I mean, personally, I'm a long-term type of person. Like, if I'm in a relationship, I'm kind of just in there to marry you type of thing. That's how I view dating. If you're like me and you view dating like how I do, I think one of the best things to take away from that view of dating is like, can we actually work out long-term? And I know for certain people, if you're in a relationship, you have to be in there for a long time to make sure like everything's stable, like you're good. You have to go through growing pains. Any type of relationship is going to have growing pains. That's just a fact. Even a friendship, you're going to go through that. But I feel like you have to think about long-term goals. And that's why I feel like goals are so important when you have a crush on someone or you're getting to know someone in like the talking stage. It's because like, do our goals align? Do our views on things align? Do I want to have kids? Like, things like that. Like, to me, that's what I think about You guys might not think that way, but like, like you gotta think about the big things, okay? Like say for example, like you have a crush. For me, for example, if I had a crush on a girl, like can I view them like on a random Wednesday, at nighttime, and I'm cooking dinner and they're like taking care of a kid or something while I'm cooking dinner. Like that's what I do when I try and view someone as like a realistic partner, because like at the end of the day, if I'm dating someone, I want to be able to have a good relationship with them. And if I want kids, like I would hope that they would be able to like, help me raise kids. Like that's something that I think about when I think, about having a crush. I know it sounds kind of crazy because I'm going super in depth and I'm talking about a crush, which is something like really simplistic, like that could just be physical. But in my opinion, like if I'm viewing someone as a partner or someone that I like or I'm interested in, I'm going to view in a deeper like thought processing level. Like I think having a crush is perfect because it allows you to learn certain things. For example, in my case scenario, I was talking to this girl around college time. I think I was like in my spring semester, and I met her through class. And one of the things that was pretty cool is that we meshed really well. Like we were just like, we hit it off from the start, right? We just had good vibes. Everything was going well. Things were great. And then she invited me to go like hang out with some of her friends or something. And we ended up going to like, I don't know, a mall or something like that. Something simple. I think we went to like a Dave and Buster's, and we were all hanging out together. And then her friends like started talking to me like when she went to the bathroom or something. And then they low-key snitched on her and was like, so how is you and blank going? And I was like, yeah, it's going good. It's going great. And then she was like, did she tell you? I was like, what? Tell me what? And she was like, or her friends were like, did she tell you about like what happened in her last relationship? And like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if they were really girls, you know what I'm saying? But let's just say she was not a good person. She did something very bad to her last partner, like borderline crazy. And low key, I kind of dodged a bullet. So yeah, of course, I had a crush on her, but it was just a lack of information because I did not know any better. And I think the best way to learn these type of things is just to ask them while you're in the talking stage. I was invested in this girl for like 4 months, okay? I was deep in there, and for some reason, I just didn't decide to ask her about any exes or even family matters, which was crazy to me. Like, looking back on it, I was absolutely like in the wrong. Like, I should, of course, like ask if they're comfortable. Like, family is an important thing to me. I have no clue why I never asked her about her family. Like, that's just wild thinking about it. But yeah, so after the Dave and Buster's thing, I actually asked her about all the situations that her like friends told me about, and then she like tried denying it, and I was like, are you sure? And I was like, okay. So then I tried trusting her, and then like a few days later she was like, I'm sorry, I lied. And then yeah, so then hey, then I moved on. It is what it is. Stuff like that happens to so many people. I feel like I'm very cliche, or not cliche, I'm like talking like so nonchalantly about the scenario because it's low-key kind of crazy. Like, we were at Dave and Buster's playing like a random arcade game. Like, I think at the time it was like the Mario Kart game. And then she went to the bathroom and her friends were just like, yeah, so the girl you're actually seeing or thinking of seeing, like dating, is kind of crazy. I was like, oh, well, hey, that's yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Her friends obviously were trying to look out for me because for whatever reason, but yeah, they weren't girls, or I think that's the term people use. They did not look out for her friend, but they looked out for me. So hey, I appreciate you guys. Shout out to you. But do you really like them, or is it a lack of information is important? Remember to ask questions when you're in the talking stage with someone or just interested in someone. You gotta know as much as you can to see if they fit for you. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. Have a good one, guys. Bye.